Hey guys, welcome to Mark's Magic Reviews. Today we have a good one. It's the brand new Fire in Hands Flamano. What is Flamano? Flamano is, as I said, the illusion of fire from within the palm of your hands. Now, if you've seen the video, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. This thing is almost CGI-like, but apparently works completely without fire. Now, Flamano is available at most magic dealers. I've seen it on Penguin, I've seen it on Vanishing Ink, and a few other smaller time magic sites as well. So it's widely available right now, and it is very cool. So what do you get with Flamano? Well, you get the packaging, you get the Flamano device itself. You've seen this in the adverts. We'll talk about that more in a moment. You're gonna get a charge cable, not the adapter, just the cable itself, and you'll get the refill fluid, okay? So you get everything that you need for probably 100 different performances, more, maybe even 1,000 different performances if this is well taken care of. That's what you get in the box. What is Flamano going to set you back? Well, Flamano is available at a lot of different magic dealers online. You can get it at Penguin Magic, Vanishing Ink. I've seen it at many other small-time magic dealers, and there's probably a plethora of other places you can get it as well. If you're shopping at local magic dealers, magic shops, it might be available there as well. Flamano runs typically at $99 American. That's the 99 US dollars. In Canada, it comes to about 140 Canadian dollars. So let's talk about the pros and cons. Pros. It's easy to use. Once you have it in your hand and you get it set up and it's charged, it's super easy to use. It's literally the press of a button and then just making sure you're watching your angles. So A+ for ease of use. A beginner can pick this up, an intermediate can pick this up. Where you're going to get into a little bit more difficulty is in the handling on the ditch. But there are a couple different tips and tricks you could use for that. The quality of the gimmick is pretty decent. I went over it with a fine-tooth comb. It looks like it could be 3D printed with a lot of internal mechanisms and whatnot. Everything seemed really sturdy. Nothing really felt super cheap, but it's also not like a metal device or anything like that. This is like a 3D printed plastic, so maybe dropping it's not a good idea. There's electronic components within it. I think overall, the plastic acrylic that comes with it as well is pretty strong, though I haven't really done any damage to it. It is pretty thin and it could crack pretty easily, especially if it's dropped on a hard surface or like concrete or something like that. It's super duper bright. It's pretty bright in your hand. I mean, not in direct sunlight, but in a room even that is well lit. In the demo video, I do it in a kind of dark room, but you get the same effect there as you do in the advert. See, in the advert, everything's really dark. He's wearing dark clothes, he's in a really dark room. Here, I'm kind of in my office space. I have a little bit of light shining through the door. I had my office lamp off. And I mean, it looks pretty good. That's with the adapter on it that makes it look like the flame. I watched this video and I think that looks tremendous. So this is great for social media. I don't know if it looks as good in person. You'll have to be the judge of that. Be the judge of that. Let me know in the comments. Another great pro is you get lots of refill in the kit when you buy it. So you don't have to go out and immediately start buying refills. I haven't seen any refills listed for Flamano, but the refill that is necessary is a pretty common element that you could get in various other places. So it's probably easily accessible when you start looking for it. Let's talk about some cons. The flame itself looks more CGI than anything. It doesn't look real. Okay, it doesn't look like there's actually a flame in your hand. In the darker light, it really the light and the smoke really work well together. But as you get into more of a lit area or the daylight, the smoke and the light from your palm just don't collide as well, and you don't get that flame sensation. More of what you get is like hot burning coals in the hand and the smoke rising from it. But you still see the light in the day. Okay, let's talk about the charging port on this bad boy. It's a rechargeable battery, so it's onboard battery, rechargeable, lasts quite a while. I was able to do 40 different performances with it on the single charge, so it lasts quite a while. However, the cable is very unorthodox. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. It reminds me of like a computer component cable of some kind. And the port is also like an internal computer motherboard type port and jack on the end of the cable. Yeah, it's very delicate. If you are very rough with this or you pull it out the wrong angle, you can break the little prongs inside the adapter. I can see there being a lot of problems with this. However, if you're gentle and you're careful with your things like I am, you should have no problem. You really should have no problem. It's not just gonna break by moving it slightly. You're gonna have to be a little bit rough with it, but you'll notice when you get this that you have to have extra care, and they just don't go over this in the instructions well. Which brings me to the instructions. Oh my goodness. For a product of this price, we should get some kind of routine or something that you can do handling. Safety instructions, there's virtually nothing. The video is just a few minutes long. I was very disappointed with that. You get what you need to operate it, a little bit of care and maintenance for your device itself, but super disappointed. Absolutely nothing to do with handling whatsoever. I've seen a lot of people talk about how they get the fire in the two hands in the advert. I will tell you right away, you do need two devices for it. Right? It doesn't work with just one, though you might be able to transfer one to the other, or one device to the other hand, like in the advert, but there's no handling on it in the video, so don't expect to learn how, that you're on your own. Now, in the advert, it makes it seem like there's sound, like crackling sound that comes from the device. And I read a review online, maybe the only other review I've seen, that indicate there was a crackling sound. The device I have does not emit a crackling sound. However, it does emit a very loud fan. I'm not sure if the video I filmed earlier picked it up, but sitting here, I can hear the fan extremely loud. It overpowers standing in the hallway when I was showing my girlfriend. It overpowered the laundry machine. In a quiet room, it's the very first thing you'll pick up. You can't miss it. However, if there's background noise or ambience, probably won't pick it up. Like traffic, anybody talking around you, a convention, anything like that, probably won't pick it up. However, just keep that in mind. It's pretty loud. The device itself is pretty big, as you can see. I have fairly big hands. I have very, very big hands. And this device is fairly big. Now, I can conceal it in my hand quite easily, but somebody with much smaller hands may not be able to do it as easy. It's pretty bulky, which might make it harder to ditch as well. You also have to hold it at a proper angle as to not cover up the fan on the other side. That will stop the intake of the air, of course, and it'll stop your effect with the smoke, which, as I mentioned, there is quite a bit of smoke that comes out of this. Wow, so that is a little bit to cover there. Some good pros and some cons to mix in there and kind of balance it all out. At the end, I think $99 might be a little bit overpriced for this. I wanted an extensive instructions, maybe with some handling, at least, not even full routines. I'm not expecting a full routine, but at least some handling would have been nice. The device charging is really outdated for me. There's just, we're on to USB-C now, and there's a few steps even before that we could have taken. I feel like we've gone really a step further back here with this device on the way it charges, and it's very delicate, the device and the adapters that you get as far as the charging is concerned. I'm not a huge fan of it. It does work. I will stress again to be very gentle when you're putting the charging cable in and out, as the internal pieces are quite delicate. Well, we come to the point where it's star time. So guys, after careful review, I think this is a fun thing for social media. I think it's something I'll use on my social media and on my Instagram, which you guys should get in the description below. I'll put it here on the screen. Follow me on Instagram. It's fun. It looks really good on video, as you can probably see from my demo sitting right here in my office. Is it practical? I can think of a few modifications that are going to make this easier for me to ditch, like a little magnet and a ditch pad. Okay, so it's quick, my hand drops down at my side, it vanishes, when it comes back out, it's gone. I can think of ways to get rid of this that aren't going to make that a problem. If I was someone with smaller hands, I'd be a little bit more concerned about that. It's loud, so I'm a close-up man, so it's loud. I'm right in people's faces. You know, I'm a few feet back these days, obviously, but I'm right up close. Luckily for me, a lot of my venues do have a lot of background noise, and that's just something you'll have to judge. A lot of magic is, it all depends on your environment. You know, you have to take everything into consideration. You might show up at an event and part of your act has to change because you realize that the environment is just not suited for your levitation work, or you know, this particular black art routine. Okay. This is going to be no different. You want to have the right environment for this, and it'll go over well. I'm going to give this trick 3.9 out of 5. 3.9 is a solid score. It's not going to be for everybody, but it's a cool thing to have in your repertoire and to have in your arsenal whenever you want to create the effective fire from your hands. Whether it be with your friends or a professional gig, I think you can pull this off with a little bit of finesse. It'll all come together and it'll look good. I believe in all of you. Please guys, make sure that you follow me on Instagram. I put my Instagram handle below. Add me up, follow me. Also, please like and subscribe to this video. Work your magic down below with those 2 magic buttons. I would really appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot, guys. Thanks for joining us for this magic review. Flamano. We'll see you next time.